Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss R K Narayan's Swamy and Friends, a delightful novel that captures very heart of childhood. In the last class, you went through a detailed biographical information about the author R K Narayan, his personal life, education, his personality and his contribution as a writer. Before we delve into the core of the novel, let us first take a moment to acquaint ourselves with the author R K Narayan briefly. Rasipuram Krishna Swamy Iyer Narayan Swamy, whom we all know as R K Narayan. He was born in 1906 in Madras, now it is called Chennai. He is one of India's most celebrated English language writers. He is so special because he is known for creating the fictional town of Malgudi, a place so real in his stories that it feels like it truly exists. His novels capture the nuances of everyday India life like joys, struggles, humor and gentle ironies with remarkable warmth and gentle humor. Narayan was part of the big trio of Indian English fiction alongside Mulkraj Anand and Raja Rao. He was nominated multiple times for the Nobel Prize in Literature and was honored with prestigious Nobel awards, civilian awards also, like Padma Bhushan and Padma Vibhushan. His notable works include The Bachelor of Arts, which is actually published in the year 1937. It is about a young man's journey through a college and love. The next notable story is The Dark Room. It focuses the domestic life and a woman's quiet rebellion. Next, this is a very important, The English Teacher. It was published in the year 1945, a deeply personal story partly based on Narayan's own life exploring love and loss. Mr. Sampath, it is another novel about a printer and his adventures in the film world. The next novel is The Financial Expert, a humorous yet insightful tale of a man obsessed with money. The next one is The Guide. It was one of his famous works about a tourist guide's unexpected transformation into a spiritual figure. Another notable work is The Wonder of Sweets, which was published in the year 1967, and it deals with the clash between tradition and modernity. Narayan gained international readers with his first novel Swamy and Friends. With Graham Greene's support, it introduced the world to Malgudi and showcased his engaging storytelling. Now we will move on to the objective of its today's session. By the end of this today's session, you will be able to understand the setting of Malgudi and meet its delightful characters, analyze Swamy's personality and his circle of friends, discuss big themes like childhood, friendship and the pressures of school life and pleasures of friendship. So keep your ears open, hearts ready, and let's dive into a beautiful piece of literary work. The novel Swamy and his Friends is divided into 19 chapters, each capturing different episodes of Swamy's life, his friendships, adventures, gradual journey from carefree childhood to deeper awareness. In today's class, we will discuss the first 10 chapters of the novel, exploring Swamy's early adventures and his friendships, the playful and meaningful events that shape into childhood. We can call this session as Introduction and Early Adventures of Swamy, as it focuses on the beginning of the novel, introducing the characters, setting and Swamy's initial experiences. Now we will move on to the core of the novel and explore the key chapters and events that shape Swamy's story. Chapter 1, Monday Morning Troubles. The first chapter highlights how Swaminathan or Swamy dislikes Mondays and dreads, that means feeling fear going to school. You see, everybody has Monday blues. Nobody, and especially when we are children, we don't like to go to school on Mondays. we want to play and we want to enjoy our time with our friends and parents. So he also has the same thing. He particularly struggles with arithmetic and history. His mind often wandering, a reflection of his innocence and lack of discipline. If you see the wandering, mind wanders everywhere just like monkey, and the people who are untrained and not having any social responsibility or familial responsibility or any aim, and definitely their mind always wandering minds. Swami's situation is also like that. He is as playful as somewhat lazy. We are also introduced to his closest friends, each with a distinct personality. Mani, who was strong and feared by others because of his hefty shoulders and height and all. Next, Somu is a very calm and dependable boy. Next character is Shankar, who was bright and studious. Next boy is Samuel, and all people call him as the P because of his size. He was very gentle and timid. Together, they form a carefree, lively group, embodying the innocence and joy of childhood companionship. By the end of the chapter, Swami's playful and questioning spirit emerge when he challenges his scripture teacher, Mr. Ebenezer, for speaking disrespectfully about Hindu gods. This incident reveals his willingness to defy authority when it conflicts with his sense of justice. Now we are moving to chapter 2, Rajam and Mani. Its title is Rajam and Mani. A new boy, Rajam, joins Swami's school. He is wealthy, well-dressed and speaks fluent English, which makes him seem superior and immediately disrupts existing friendships. Mani, Swami's close friend, feels especially threatened by Rajam's arrival and dislikes him from the start. This is also one of the psychological thing. If we feel that somebody is very superior, and definitely we can develop some kind of rivalry. The same thing happened in the case of Mani. Determined to assert himself, Mani challenges Rajam to fight by the river. Swami finds himself torn between loyalty to Mani and curiosity about Rajam, acting awkwardly as a mediator. However, instead of coming to blows, Rajam impresses Mani with his calm confidence. They quickly decide to be friends, marking the start of a strong new bond among Swami, Rajam and Mani, a trio that becomes central to the story. This chapter vividly portrays how childhood jealousy and rivalry can quickly turn into companionship or friendship, and it firmly establishes Rajam as a key figure in Swami's life, while also highlighting the shifting nature of friendship. Now we will move to chapter 3, Swami's grandmother. Here a new character is introduced. Swami shares stories about Rajam with his grandmother, who listens patiently but often blends them with memories from her own past. This highlights the warm generational bond and how elders in traditional Indian family shape children's storytelling and imagination. Swami also proudly recounts how he managed to avoid his father's study routine on Sundays and Saturdays, or Saturdays and Sundays. Additionally, the chapter includes an incident where Swami and Mani are surprised to see Rajam behaving authoritatively and even rudely toward a policeman and household cook, a display that leaves both boys astonished. Now we will move to chapter 4, What is a Tale? Swami begins to face alienation from his old friends Somu, Shankar and the P, who mockingly call him Rajam's tail because of his growing closeness to Rajam. This deeply hurts Swami, marking one of his first experiences of betrayal and the pain of fractured or broken friendships. Now we will move to chapter 5, Father's Room. Eager to impress Rajam, Swami decides to entertain him in his father's room because he has a great respect and he feels that his father's room is something greater than any other room in his home. When he compared all these things, his father room is greater than other rooms at his home. So he proudly presents it as his own since his father's away. Though his grandmother wishes to meet Rajam, Swami is worried about appearances. It discourages her to meet him. He carefully plans the visit, ensures his mother prepares good snacks, asks the cook to dress properly, and secures his father's permission, especially after mentioning Rajam's influential background. During the visit, Rajam notices the books and questions Swami, who reluctantly admits the truth. To shift the focus, to bring up his grandmother, and Rajam expresses interest in meeting her. Their meeting goes well, leaving Swami revealed and his grandmother is impressed by Rajam's manners. This chapter highlights Swami's struggle between wanting to appear independent and still relying on family support, while also touching upon social status, childhood innocence and subtle discomforts with his own background. Now we'll have focus on chapter 6, A Friend in Need. You all know the famous quotation, a friend in need is a friend indeed. Just like that, 3 weeks later, Swami and Mani visit Rajam's house to see a promised surprise. On the way, Mani vents his anger towards Somu, eager for a confrontation. As they crawl playfully towards Rajam's room and they are surprised to find Somu, Shankar and the P already there. The unexpected reunion unsettles Mani, who considers leaving. Noticing this, Rajam firmly states that if Mani walks out, their friendship severs or ends. Rajam then stresses the value of friendship, quoting, "A friend in need is a friend indeed," and even draws from the Vedas, explaining that holding grudges only leads to suffering. To solidify or focus their renewal bond, he gives thoughtful gifts like a fountain pen to the P and the belt to Somu. This chapter highlights Rajam's leaderships and his efforts to heal rifts, that means whatever the gap actually occurred, reinforcing themes of unity, forgiveness and importance of resolving conflicts. Now we'll move to chapter 7, A New Arrival. Swami's home is filled with tension and excitement as his mother goes into labor. She has been confined to bed for 2 days, leaving Swami feeling unsettled in her absence. See, especially the children who are away from mother, they can't be very happy. Here also the same thing happened to Swami. At night, he sleeps in his grandmother's room, but remains alert, seeing the seriousness of the situation. A lady doctor arrives to oversee the delivery, issuing instructions that even Swami's father follows, which adds to Swami's confusion because father is in the patriarchal setup. You can find father is a very authoritative one and who always pass rules, not at all following any rules. But here he finds something different. So the quiet conversations, hurried movements and the preparations involving hot water and medicines leave him curious and anxious. Despite his questions, Swami's grandmother gives vague responses, keeping him in the dark. Because in those days, people believed that adults should not share proper information about sensitive or adult related issues or grown up issues. So the same thing happened. So she gave very vague responses to her grandson. The next morning, Swami shares with his friend the P that he now has a baby brother. However, Swami is not particularly impressed upon seeing the newborn and finds the baby's appearance rather amusing. See here, usually the people until then they get some kind of attention. But when a new baby comes, the attention move some kind of diversion. So he has that kind of sense of insecurity. We'll shift to chapter 8. Before the examinations. The title is Before the Examinations. Swamy faces mounting pressure as his school exams approach. This is actually very common situation to all the students, okay, maybe children or even the adults or the grown up ones. His father becomes ever more strict, emphasizing the importance of diligent study, that means hard work, to avoid failing and being separated from his friends. This particular stern approach or serious approach motivates Swamy to focus more on his studies. Meanwhile, Mani, anxious about the upcoming exams, tries to gain an advantage by getting information about the question papers from the school clerk, who is rumored to know everything related to examinations. He offers the clerk food as a bribe, but the clerk denies having any knowledge of the exam content. Despite this, Mani persists and the clerk eventually provides general advice on what to study. Though he lacks specific insights into the exam questions, Mani shares this information with Swamy, both feeling a sense of relief and preparedness. Swaminathan prepares a list of things to buy for his exam and is disappointed when his father refuses to buy anything from the list. The child's desire to go shopping and fulfill his needs were described very beautifully by the author. This chapter highlights the academic pressures children face and their small and hopeful desires, reflecting the broader theme of education and the anxieties. Now we'll go to chapter 9, School Breaks Up. In this chapter, Swamy is excited as the term examinations at his school come to an end, marking the beginning of the summer holidays. The atmosphere at the school is filled with joy and anticipation as the students eagerly await their break. The last day of school is marked by a sense of relief, as students are freed from the burden of studies and the exams. Swamy and his friends Mani, Razam and others are thrilled about the holidays and start planning how they will spend their own or their time. The idea of playing, roaming around and being free from school responsibilities fills them with enthusiasm. However, the chapter also hints at the carefree and mischievous nature of Swamy and his friends, emphasizing their youthful innocence. This chapter captures the essence of childhood joy, excitement of school vacations, portraying Swamy's words as full of simple yet significant pleasures. Now we come to the last chapter of this part, the coachman's son. Swaminathan becomes a victim of deception in the sense a kind of cheating and all, when he is cheated by a cunning coachman who tricks him out of the 2 annas. Anna is a small denomination of money used in pre-independence India. In other words, it is 1/16th of a rupee. That means 16 annas is equal to 1 rupee. Upset and feeling wronged, Swamy shares his experience with his close friends Mani and Rajam. Determined to seek justice and reclaim the lost money, the friends come up with a bold plan to kidnap the coachman's son as leverage. However, the plan turns into a complete disaster when Swamy, Mani attempt to approach the coachman's house in Kilacheri. They are met with unexpected resistance. Here, they face a kind of problem. The local dogs chased them and the local inhabitants pelted them with stones. The boys are forced to retreat and humiliated and defeated. This chapter humorously portrays the innocence and naivety of childhood, showing how the boys' adventurous plans backfires. It also highlights the impressive or impressiveness of children and the struggle to deal with unfairness in their own simplistic ways. Let's proceed to the conclusion. Through these first 10 chapters of Swamy and Friends, we witness the vibrant world of Swaminathan, filled with school troubles, playful mischief, shifting friendships, and innocent schemes that often go awry or improper. Each chapter skillfully captures a slice of childhood when it is the sting of being mocked by old friends, the thrill of new bonds, or simple joys of summer holidays. R K Narayan portrays these moments with remarkable warmth and gentle humor, allowing us to see not just Swamy's personal journey but the universal experience of growing up. That means we also faced our childhood and how it is. This is all clearly depicted in his novel. As the novel progresses, we will explore how Swamy's carefree life begins to encounter a deeper challenges, gradually pushing him from playful innocence toward a more complex understanding of the world. All right, that's all for today's session. Thank you for your attention. We will continue exploring Swamy's journey in that next chapter.